Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first mass public swearing in of commissioners that I know of in Athens-Clarke-County. Let me ask Mayor Kelly Girtz to come forward. Raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I, Kelly Girtz,
I, Kelly Girtz,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
and affirm
that I
will support
the
Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of Georgia.
and the Constitution of Georgia.
So help me God.
So help me God.
That was Mayor Kelly Girtz being sworn in by Judge Susan Tate. Will he keep his campaign promises? How much can the new mayor and commission accomplish together in their first year? What even is a commission anyway? You'll find out here on Athens Politics Nerd.
I want to tell everybody how excited I am to have this gathered group of colleagues. It's time when we're going to see increased opportunity for every sector of Athens. A great era of equity approaches.
Athens, this is your new mayor and commission who you elected in May of 2018. But before I talk about them, I feel I should explain a little bit about myself first. My name is Chris Dowd. I've lived in Athens basically all my life, and I'm the technical coordinator of Athens for Everyone. It's important for me to say that while I do work for A4E, this is not an A4E project. The views I express here do not necessarily match those of Athens for Everyone. Okay. The Mayor and Commission is the legislative body of Athens-Clarke County. Among the mayor's duties is to craft a first draft of the yearly budget and to recommend appointments to the other charter positions, such as city manager, county attorney, and internal auditor. Perhaps most importantly, the mayor sets the agenda that the commission votes on. So what is the commission? The commission is like Congress for Athens. They set the laws and ordinances that we have to live with, and what they do or don't do really does matter. One major difference is that commissioners can't bring legislation to a vote on their own. It must first be placed on the agenda or assigned to a committee by the mayor.
And I wanted to thank all of you for being here tonight. I know you came to tell me goodbye. But I want to thank you for joining us tonight, and I wanted to thank all the citizens of Athens-Clarke County for allowing me to be your mayor for 4 years, because it's been a very meaningful time for me, and I've loved every minute of it, the good, bad, and the ugly.
The outgoing mayor, Nancy Denson, was not well liked by progressives. I have to say, though, that she is very charming. She's the kind of person who will pick up hitchhikers on the road and buy them lunch. She was the first woman to serve on the Athens City Council. That was before unification of county and city. And she has a long and distinguished career of service to Athens. Her legacy as mayor is a huge one. You can see it in our skyline. During her 8-year tenure, she did a lot to facilitate the construction of those giant luxury student apartment complexes that you see around now. She was a very strong mayor who sometimes would try to block just about anything she disagreed with, and she was often successful since she controlled the agenda. For example, there was a green building ordinance placed on the agenda by former Mayor Heidi Davison when Nancy Denson took office, and that bill sat for years on hold, probably because it would have cut into the profits of her developer friends. All of those luxury apartments have caused rents to rise, and so you can maybe see why she is not very popular with some people. Even so, I wish her well. She's just so nice. The incoming mayor is Kelly Girtz. He has already stated that he'll not be blocking bills that a significant number of commissioners want on the agenda. So that, just by itself, is huge for progressives. Kelly is also extremely knowledgeable about policy and has plans to accomplish a great deal in his first term. I'll get into that a bit later. But for now, let's check in on this meeting and see how things are going.
I have a note from Commissioner Link.
Yes, I'd like to file a motion to reconsider on item number 29 from our December 4th meeting. I believe that's the item regarding the SPLOST 2020 designated project list.
All right.
What's going on here? SPLOST is a 1 penny sales tax that we have an option to implement locally. We get to vote on it. If passed, the money will go to a number of special projects as determined by a Citizens Advisory Committee and ultimately the Mayor and Commission. If you didn't catch the December meeting, I recommend reading about what happened here. The short of it is that the former commission decided how to spend about half of the SPLOST budget before the advisory committee was even briefed on any of the projects. Only Commissioners Parker and Link tried to stop that from happening, with Link actually voting yes only so she could file a motion to reconsider, as she just did. What information does Commissioner Link want the new commission briefed on? The projects the former commission was trying to pre-designate include $70 million for a new judicial facility and $44 million for an affordable housing fund. What exactly the housing fund was for, they were never all that specific about. Wait.
I'm going to support this motion with one caveat, and that is I think it's important for the entire body of the commission to understand the background of these two items, especially the affordable housing item, which has not been discussed in public because it is in large part a real estate transaction.
Interesting. So there is a real estate transaction plan that hasn't been made public yet. It seems like Commissioner Neesmith believes that once the new commission is fully briefed, they will agree with circumventing the advisory committee for these projects. I'm not so sure because Commissioners Link and Parker are briefed and they don't agree. We'll see what happens. Link's motion passed 8-2 with the proposal to pre-designate those projects put on hold until the new commission has all the information.
With regards to the affordable housing, there has been some comment tonight about real estate transactions. And so we will convene an executive session, which is permissible under Open Records Act, to inform the commissioners about the substance of that.
I think that's a good outcome for now, since there is apparently something secret going on, and I'd want to know what that was too before I made a decision.
So after these work sessions, however we define them, and we just don't like it at all. So we have that option to just start from scratch.
The commission also expanded public input on zoning issues tonight, which is a great change. The next important happening at this meeting was the committee assignments. Commissioner Link, the longest-serving progressive on the commission at this point, was given the chair of the Audit Committee, which is big. This committee works with and oversees the internal auditor as she goes about her work of keeping our government running smoothly. The other committees are Government Operations and the Legislative Review Committee, or LRC, which are working and research groups who refine legislation before it's voted on by the full commission. Let's see what Mayor Girtz asked these committees to do on their first day.
So, Government Operations, I'd like to ask you first to address our Sidewalk Cafe ordinance. Concurrently, but just beyond that, I'd like you to address the opportunity for property tax freezes based on income and senior status or disability or any other statuses that the committee deems appropriate.
So this is a big deal. With property values going up around town, some homeowners, particularly older people living on fixed incomes, are having difficulty keeping up with their increasing property tax assessments. Freezing their taxes at the current rates as a way to fight gentrification is something that has been discussed forever. Nancy Denson ran on this idea in both 2010 and 2014. Her idea was to freeze taxes for people of a certain age, regardless of income, and it was shot down by the commission in 2011. Tim Denson ran on a similar version of this idea back during the mayoral election of 2014, but his idea focused primarily on income as part of his plan to make taxes in Athens more progressive. Kelly Girtz ran on it as well in 2018. The major difference this time is that it sounds like it will actually happen. Big kudos to Mayor Girtz for pushing this forward on his first day in office.
So I wonder about the possibility of assigning marijuana decriminalization to the Legislative Review Committee.
As chair of LRC, I would be happy for that decriminalization study and research to be done through our committee.
So what can I say about this new commission? It was an amazing night. I'm really hopeful about what we can accomplish in 2019 and in the next 4 years. I want to caution, though, against thinking things will be transformed overnight. Most of all, please don't think we can all go back home and stop paying attention. We'll need everyone engaged to make the changes we all want to see. We'll need to push the new commission at times, but also to be supportive at other times and understand that there are limits to what a group of 10 part-time people can accomplish. They have full-time jobs in addition to their job as commissioners. They have family responsibilities, and they will probably spend at least 10 to 20 hours a week just on the basics of being a commissioner, like going to meetings and talking with constituents. So I think we should have realistic expectations, but to push hard for them to meet those expectations. Lastly, I want to congratulate everyone who was elected. I'm so proud and a little in awe of you all and of our whole community who made this possible.
And of the United States of America.
And of the United States of America. So help me.
And laws of the state.
I spent evenings sitting inside,
United States of America.
watching cable news. I've become
And of the United States of America.
satisfied with the idea that there was nothing I could do. Then you started to become restless, started to get engaged, and they became nervous when they saw we weren't afraid, and sweat found their brow as we took to the streets with that undying sound of solidarity. This, I hope you understand now, is only the beginning, because this ship is getting turned the fuck around. Gonna finally find that new world, because we've gotten so off course. Our compass points to a dollar sign. Stand out for moral north, and with our fists in the air and mic checks filling the sky, we'll tear that corruption down that built them upside